Hey everyone, this is Cindy, and I'm just getting ready to head out the door to go to the farmer's market and run some other errands. But I keep getting this message since this morning to do a video on how things in life are changing and how it's creating some, well, first of all, when you have unknown, when you don't know what's going on, when things don't seem like they were before or appear to be like what we're used to, what we would call normal, we start getting a little bit edgy, and sometimes it makes you feel fearful or insecure about which way to go in your life, whether it's your life in general and being happy and what makes you happy and why aren't you that happy, or feeling uneasy about which direction to go next, what you want to do. And in the way of work, especially if you are an entrepreneur or you're, working for yourself, which is the same thing, but what kind of business decisions you can make to create more wealth in your business, or reach more people, or step it up and take some leaps in your business to higher levels. And it's just I don't know, I guess it just is an uneasy feeling when things feel like, number one, that they're just kind of standing still. Nothing's ever really standing still, but there have been some big lulls in the energy, and really the energy has been changing and just becoming so different, really very obviously in the last year, 2 years, 3 years. It really, I was noticing a change, but in the last 2 years and this year, I mean, just life looks completely different. Everything looks different. Your clients are acting different. Your motivation is different, and maybe you're having a hard time being motivated. Your inspirations are different, and maybe you even have a hard time feeling inspired. And maybe the phone's not ringing as much as it used to. I know definitely in talking to a lot of people that do the same sort of business I do, things used to, 3 years ago, wow, business was great. And it's not that business isn't great now, it's different. So it might seem that it's not as great, but how do you explain it? It just comes in different ways. So anyway, this is the guidance that I'm getting from the angels on this, because it seems like even the angels aren't really talking and telling you what to do. Like even 3 years ago, they'd be like, do this, do that, do this, do that, and you'd be right on it and everything would be cool. But it seems like there's just a lull even in the feeling of communication as far as guidance even. And not to say you don't get guidance, because there is some guidance, but again, that's even different. Everything's different. So this is what the angels are saying. Everything is different. Nothing is the same. And, when you start looking, I've talked a little bit on my other videos about the New World, and Dolores Cannon's talked about it, other people talk about it, but basically, go watch the other videos, but basically what it is there is a widening gap between people who are just living here, doing the regular stuff, not really, I would say, I wouldn't call them really awake as far as spiritual growth. I mean, everybody, whether they want spiritual growth or not, they're getting it to whatever degree that they can, or and maybe they don't realize, but everybody's always growing. But people that just are here doing the everyday in and out thing, conforming to whatever, the way the government or people around them say that life should be, and just living their life like that, which nothing wrong with that. But people that live in that sort, well, I won't even say that. That's not true. I was going to say a lot of times people in that sort of energy field live from a place of fear, but that may not be true all the time. But then there's people that are awake spiritually and are working on their spiritual evolution and transformation and ascension. And we are consciously creating our lives. We are saying, no, I don't have to conform. I'm creating a reality that is good for me, that brings me joy, that gets me excited, that I don't agree with a lot of things that personally the government is doing. I feel like, you know, they try to keep people in fear, and they try to keep people that, you know, the more ignorant and the more uninformed you are, the more that they can just mull right over you. But I don't even want to go into that, because there's more than just that. But basically, people who are vibrating in love and want better and see the world as a beautiful place and live their heart from love and talk about love like love freaks like me. And we are just, this gap is widening. And so eventually there's going to be a break in the energy, and there will be this new world. And I don't know if it'll be an actual physical world or we'll just be in a higher dimension, just like the Mayans disappeared one day and ascended. And same with Atlantis. I did an Atlantis video and heard that people are looking into the water for Atlantis, and it's still very much alive. It's just in a higher dimension. So they're like, hey, here we are. You're just looking in the wrong places. And so, you know, they were very evolved beings. They lived from their intuition. They came from a place of love. They understood ascension. They were into their spiritual growth. They're very enlightened. And that's not what we have created on this earth, unfortunately. But there is more and more people that are waking up and understanding this and consciously creating lives that they desire, and they are focusing forward. And I keep asking people, when you think about things that you want to create in your life, please put focus to, if you could create a world that you would ultimately want to live in, think about that. What would that world look like? Because the more we can focus on that new world, the more we are energetically creating it. Remember, the minute we have a thought, and if we hold that thought for even 17 seconds, it's already in the creation process. So thoughts are things, and thoughts create. And quantum physics, which is scientifically proven, says that energy follows thought, and like energy attracts like energy. So the more we can put thought to the new world and what we really want in our world, the more we will, the faster we'll get there. So that being said, about everything changing, everything is changing. A lot of us are dreaming bigger and really reaching for our biggest dreams. And a lot of us are not settling for just settling anymore. A lot of us are moving to where our hearts are calling us. A lot of us are deciding to do work that we can do from a place of our heart and not feel like we have to go to an office every day and make someone else rich. And it's not so much about, yeah, money is great. We all, you know, can use money. We live in a money-driven society, and that's another thing that I'd like to visualize for the new world. At first I was thinking a moneyless society, and that would be cool, but you know, I started thinking about that the other day when I was at the beach, and thinking about a moneyless society. That's like saying that money is bad and money doesn't have a place. I think money has a place, but I don't think that it needs to be what drives the world. I think it could be a great bartering tool, and I think everybody just could have easy access to it, and it can be a beautiful thing and not an evil thing. So, you know, anyway, what I'm talking about is, it's not about money so much, but what is making your heart happy? What truly inspires you? What do you want to do every day? What do you want to see in your life every day? What makes your emotions feel elated and happy? And more people, when I tell them about manifesting, instead of manifesting things, and of course we all want some things, and good, but to remember to manifest emotions and feelings. So people are manifesting love, being loved, being lovable, giving love. being happy, feeling joyful, feeling healthy, feeling happy, feeling, playful. So people are manifesting these wonderful feelings. So that being said, in the past, a lot of people weren't consciously doing that. So people were different. But the more and more of us that are doing this, we are changing our worlds completely different from, definitely, I'm completely different from when I was growing up, or when I was even in my 20s and 30s, or even 40s. I mean, it's just a continuous wonderful change in my consciousness and the expansion of what possibilities are there for me and for this world. So many of us are thinking so much bigger and thinking so much more positive. So yeah, of course, nothing looks the same. It totally isn't. So again, it's that us catching up with us, me catching up with me. Okay, I'm visualizing and feeling all these wonderful things, and now I have to really walk my talk and be in those things. What can I do every day to feel more loving and be more loving? What can I do every day to be more happy and feel more inspired in my life? So yeah, it's the first thing to pinpoint what it is that you want to feel and experience. But the next thing is not to sit and just wait for it to come, but to start living as if it is. And a lot of these things we can start doing. You don't have to wait for the world to crumble and restart to get there. And in fact, you've got to start acting like it and incorporating these feelings into your life in order for you to do the full transformation and get into that on a regular basis. You can't wait for it. You've got to start living it. So that's like anything you manifest. Like if you wanted to be a millionaire, what does being a millionaire mean to you? Write down on a list what that means. Does that mean that you don't have to go to work anymore? And does that mean you can travel more? Does that mean you can spend more quality time with your kids, or spend more time out in nature, or work more on your hobbies? What does being a millionaire mean to you? Because it means something different to everybody. And once you get that list, there are certainly things on that list that you can do right now without actually seeing that money in your bank account. Like spending more quality time with your kids. Just spend more quality time with your kids. If you want to get out in nature more, get out in nature more. If you want to travel the world, then, and that's something that you don't feel that financially you can do or have the time, then get online and start looking at how you would travel the world, what places you would go to. Start getting in the energy of traveling the world by surfing the internet. And you're bringing on that energy, and you're creating it, because the more you focus on these things that you want, the more you're creating it into your existence. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. It's just getting into the feelings of it and start practicing what you can and living it, and it will, and it does fall into place, because you're already living that lifestyle by doing what you can to do that. So everything's changing. So what can you do to bring more business in if it feels like you're in a kind of strange, I don't know what to do. I just don't feel like my classes are what people want anymore. I advertise and nobody's coming, things may be just, like I said, different. So the answer to that, what the angels are saying is, you have to remember what you're asking for in your life. And if it's to be who you are and do the work that you love, before we all settled for a lot of work that we didn't love, and we would just do it to make money. But a lot of us don't want that. We want to do work we love, and we want the money to be there in the things that we enjoy doing. So that means you've got to stop doing those things that weren't really bringing you joy. And that's probably why people aren't signing up for that stuff anymore, because it's not really what you want to do. You were just doing it to make money. So it means go back into your heart and ask yourself, what kind of things could I do that would make me feel happy, that bring me a lot of joy? And it might take some digging and thinking. Like what, I know with my work, I'm like, what could I do? What is it that I really want to do? And then I'll think of some things. I'll go, oh, that would be cool. Yeah. And then it kind of falls flat on its face. And I'm like, well, but I think I was kind of going back to the old days where I would just do things that, yeah, they were cool. But if I had a choice, if I had all the money in the world and I had a choice, would I do that? Probably not. So then it's really tapping it. What it's doing is narrowing you down into your passions and your inspired life purpose, heartfelt stuff. So, and that has probably changed for you too. So what inspired you a year ago is probably not really what's inspiring you now, because you've changed and you're reaching higher. So it's about us continuously going in and checking with ourselves, is this inspiring? If I had all the money in the world, would I do this? If I had all the choices in the world, would this be what I would do? And when I started applying that to my business, I started, checking a lot of stuff that before that I would do, because no, it's not really that inspiring to me. It could be a little inspiring, but it's not what, once I pinpoint some things and I go, whoa, that's it. That totally gets me excited. Like I've been really channeling a lot of Atlanteans lately, and I know that my job has changed too, because my job has always been about helping people to see their divinity and their inner love for themselves, and to live a life that feels good to them and is heart driven and gives them purpose and joy. And I still, of course, want to do that, but then it changed to really helping people with their ascension, which that work was helping with their ascension, which means ascension means growth in your spirituality, to lift you to higher consciousness and beliefs and understanding that everything's possible, and really reaching those possibilities. That's why I'm really good at teaching manifesting classes. That seems to be one of my niches and one of my very successful classes, because I'm always about the manifesting, and I really put it into action. And I have a lot of, since I started doing this work, I was channeling information on manifesting without even knowing that that's what I wanted to do, or that's what I was here to do. But now it's about this being on the forefront of getting people to look and imagine and visualize the new world. This is my calling right now, is waking people up and saying, come on, if you could live in a world that it's your choice and it would be your ultimate, what would it be? I want to inspire people to put thought to this every day as much as possible, because it's going to help us push through this lull, this front period. What I feel like, was talking to one of my friends yesterday, it feels like we're at this bottleneck and we're all kind of stacking up against each other, and like there's this pressure, but there's no and the push, but there's no give. And it's because we need to get caught up with we need to catch up with ourselves. So it feels like the universe is pushing up some pressure against us to get us to, it's almost like hitting the wall, boom. So it knocks some energy through your head to like, wake up, come on, which way are you going to go now? And really draw your attention to it. And then with all the planets moving and doing all their thing, so we're hitting this pressure, and then it's going like this, and it's spinning you and shaking you. It's like being in a snow globe, shaking you. Come on, wake up. What do you really want? You're not going to settle anymore. You have been manifesting much higher for yourself. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Get up to speed with you, okay? You're not settling anymore. You keep wanting to do this settling thing because that's what you know, and that's what worked for you before, but it's not going to work anymore because you have been dreaming much bigger than that. So now you've got to really work on being in those big dreams. You've got to get into that energy and get out of what you did to make things work before. So light workers and anybody in a business, it doesn't even have to be a light worker, but wake up and start getting into your big dreams. They're not, okay, great, you've learned how to dream big, because that was even hard a year ago for people. But now that you've learned how to dream big, wake up and get into those big dreams. Put on your big dream panties and shorts and go live in your big dreams. Come on, let's get this energy flowing and moving. So I'm like feeling like at that bottleneck that I'm there kind of trying to pull people out. Like, come on, here you are, here's the bottleneck, hitting up against the wall, and I'm trying to like pull strings of you out to say, look, big dreams, get into your big dreams. And when you come through that bottleneck and I toss you into this new energy, it lifts you and it takes you to higher dimensions, and you go, wow. It's like that Willy Wonka thing at the end where they go up into that whatever it is capsule, and then it's like shoo, and it goes out into space. And it's something like this, like that. It's something like that but bigger. So get into your big dreams. What are your big dreams? If you were living in a new world, what would you want to be doing? Write down those things and start doing the things you can do. As far as your work right now, that's going to help your work. But right now, to bring in flow and money or whatever it is you need, you have to go into your heart and see what is really going to inspire you. If it's not inspiring, it's not going to work. It has to be inspired. You have to feel inspired. If you feel inspired, it's going to work. So going back to my Atlantean thing, I totally got, I got this information that was really cool from the Atlanteans, that they said that many Atlanteans are here on Earth. I'm one of them. And, many of you probably really resonate with Atlantis. And actually, they're in lots of different dimensions. They're in the star dimension. They're in their dimension. They're in other universes. They're holding frequencies everywhere. And what they're wanting people to do is tap back into their knowledge and their frequencies and their wisdom and their enlightenment from that lifetime of being with all their other Atlanteans, brother and sisters. That harmony, that like I said, the enlightenment, the intuition, the love, and remember that within themselves and anchor it into this world to get into that new world and be part of that new world, be a big part of that new world. So I felt so inspired to offer this Atlantean intuition and purification retreat. I'm going to have it here in Florida in a luxury house on the beach in February 2013, and it's very special. So I'm going to be taking applications actually for it to make sure that you're in alignment with joining in on this group. And it doesn't matter if you know nothing about Atlantis but feel drawn to it, or you totally are like an Atlantis high priestess or whatever. It makes no difference what level you're at. We will be accepting all levels, but definitely everybody has to jive, because we want this to be a very, very powerful and impactful retreat. And it'll just be 3 days, but it'll be amazing, amazing. And it's making my inspiration move me and motivate me, and I feel excitement just vibrating in my aura over this. So that's what you have to do, is really figure out what gets you excited, what makes your energy vibrate, what opens your heart, what inspires you to actually take action on it. And those are the things that are going to bring you great success. So remember, nothing's the same, so stop doing the same things, because you're just going to be in that deadlock. You're going to be in that gridlock, not deadlock, gridlock and bottleneck. And I want to help pluck you out and free you into the new world. So you can do that by inspiring yourself and passing this word on to other people. Pass this video on to other people. Talk about this, because the more we can all wake people up into this into our big dreams and start living our big dreams and walking our talk in our big dreams and putting focus on the new universe, the faster it's all going to transform for us, and we can get out of this thing that we created, this thing that I'm personally done with. And you know, it's really cool because I actually live in an amazing place, and I've been thinking lately, because I've been in that kind of, what do I need to do? Gosh, maybe I just need a vacation. Maybe that's what I need. And then I think, where would I go? I'm like, I don't have to go anywhere. I'm living in a total vacation place, like anything that I would want to go to a beautiful beach. So that would be like Hawaii or Mexico. Sorry, I got it right here. It's like less than 1 minute walk from my house to go to that. So that was out the door. Vacation's out the door. I'm exactly where I want to be. I don't need to go anywhere. And you know what? That's awesome. That's living my big dream. I'm totally living in my big dream already. And I'm in a place of inspiration, and I feel I love it here. So that's something you could do too. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? It's not, don't make moving such a big deal. It really isn't. And you know what? It will shift your life in amazing ways. Anyway, I want to keep this video down. It's already going on too long, but all I'm saying is the world is not the same, so stop acting like it's the same, because you're going to just keep getting frustrated and hitting walls. You have to find deep in your heart what inspires you and start. And when you think of something, you might go, oh, that's cool, but really think about it and revisit it for a few days. And if you don't still get that same excited spark, then no, that's not it. It really has to be an inspired project or idea, or it's not going to work. And so the universe is totally pushing us to where we've been asking to be. We have been asking for this. So the universe is saying, okay, you want it, you've got to make some changes to be it, to feel it. So it's, you know, it's not always that easy. Maybe get a reading with me. I'm pretty good at digging in there and finding out what's there. You know, that's always an option too, is, you know, maybe you don't come to me for a reading, but you know somebody else that's good at finding life purpose and finding your inspiration for you and helping you to pinpoint that. But that, and also just being in your big dreams, writing down what they are and start taking whatever steps you can to be in those big dreams. So I don't know how many times I can repeat it and try to get you guys to understand it and be motivated, but I think maybe you could just listen to this like 3 times and maybe you'll really get it. And I hope that I see you guys at the bottleneck so I can pluck you out and set you free. All right, have a great day. If you like this video, please, and even if you don't like it, share it on your Facebook wall, darn it. Pass it on to your friends and your family, because maybe they'll get it. And subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get the regular updates. Like this video, please. And also friend me on Facebook. My name's Cindy Eiler. Have a great day and stay inspired, because you know what? That is what's going to take you there. Have a great day. Bye.